God for your spirit. But thank you, God, for these children. Some of them don't even know what they just did. Some of them don't even know it yet. But when I tell you, every time they sing that song, for whatever reason, a lot of choirs deem it a children's song. Every time they sing that song, it just brings me so much joy. Yes. And most of the time before I preach, I will sing a song. I ain't got nothing else to say. Set it up. Hallelujah. Yes. Salvation and glory. Yes. Unto the Lord. So thank you, Clarice. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you, children. Thank you, those other adult helpers. Thank you. Thank you, God. Just thank you, God, for all that He is doing, even in this very second. Because if you don't feel the anointing in this room, if you don't feel the anointing in this room, you might want to close your eyes for a minute and say a little prayer so that you can get in tune with what's going on. Because God is moving in this place. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Good morning. Woo, Jesus. My scripture was not read this morning, so let me read it now. I will be coming from 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 8 through 15. And I will be reading from the version in the Pew Bibles, which is the Common English Version. God has the power to provide you with more than enough of every kind of grace. That way you will have everything you need always, and in everything to provide more than enough for every kind of good work. As it is written, He scattered everywhere, He gave to the needy, His righteousness remains forever. The one who supplies seed for planting and bread for eating will supply and multiply your seed and will increase your crop, which is righteousness. You will be made rich in every way so that you can be generous in every way. Yeah. Such generosity produces thanksgiving to God through us. Your ministry of this service to God's people isn't only fully meeting their needs, but it is also multiplying in many expressions of other thanksgiving to God. They will give honor to God for your obedience to your confession of Christ's gospel. They will do this because this service provides evidence of your obedience and because of your generosity in sharing with them and with everyone. They will also pray for you, and they will care deeply for you because of the outstanding grace that God has given to you. Thank God for His gift that words can't describe. Let us pray. Oh, gracious Father, I thank you in the blessed name of your Son, Jesus the Christ, for this moment. I thank you that even right now you decrease Dara, and you increase your spirit within me. Let my words be your words. Let those that hear and do as you direct them to do. And we will count it all joy and give you all of the glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So I'm just going to read again for emphasis. Verse 8, verse 9, verse 13, 14, and 15. 2 Corinthians chapter 9. verse 8 reads, God has the power to provide you with more than enough of every kind of grace. That way you will have everything you need always, and in everything to provide more than enough for every kind of good work. As it is written, he scattered everywhere, he gave to the needy, his righteousness remains forever. Verse 13. They will give honor to God for your obedience to your confession of Christ's gospel. They will do this because the service provides evidence of your obedience, and because of your generosity in sharing with them and with everyone. They will also pray for you, and they will care deeply for you because of the outstanding grace that God has given to you. Thank God for his gift that words cannot describe. The title of the sermon is called God's Grace Givers. The Apostle Paul let me pause. Before I go on, I just want to thank my mother for that wonderful introduction. I love you dearly. Thank my husband for all of his support. Hi, sweetie. He's up there in the heavenlies doing our sound. And I thank this church. I thank you, Mount Olive, for. I thank the missionaries for asking me to come and speak today. But I thank Mount Olive for you all are a part of me in different ways. And I thank you for your support and your love. Okay, let's get into it. The Apostle Paul, in his second letter to the Corinthian church, wrote this text, and this portion of this letter was to encourage the people of the church to continue to give for the benefit of the poor. As with a lot of the biggest obstacles that they had, giving was one that caused them to worry. We all understand that. When we have money and the addition doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. This bill and this bill and what you got in your hand, it ain't working.
You're not adding up.
Not at all. Because if I give $5 out of my last 20, I'm gonna worry about making it to payday, right? Mm-hmm. If I pay my tithes and my offerings before I pay my bills, will I have enough? Mm-hmm. That is a common concern. We've all been there, but Paul's purpose was to remind the church that God not only promised to take care of us, but he also promised that if we gave and we were a blessing to others, that he would abundantly take care of us and bless us back. Amen. And because if they chose to follow Paul and share, he would take care of them. Now, the creator of the world has just told you and I that he will provide for us with all that we need for our lives, as well as for every good deed that we do. Who else can make that declaration? No one but the Lord Jesus Christ. Wow. Now, I know that this is Mission Sunday, but this message is truly for everyone. Wow. And although this text embodies the call of a missionary, which we all are called to be in one form or another, the promises of God are for all of us as well. Wow. Now, the general outline of a missionary is someone who is willing to go out into the foreign places outside of our comfort zone, to fill a need on behalf of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Okay. So that says to me that if we all are supposed to be missionaries, then we should all be doing something, someplace, somewhere, for someone else other than ourselves. So my question for you today is, are you on a mission for Christ? Now, there are missionaries that are not Christians, and they are just everyday people who love to help others, and that's wonderful. But if you have received Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you just became responsible to share the goodness of our God, His grace, His mercy, and His love with someone else who is where you used to be. Right. Deuteronomy 15:11 says, "For the poor will never cease to be in the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall freely open your hand to your brother, to your needy and poor in the land." The words poor and needy are not only referring to those that are financially challenged. You can be poor in your health. You can be poor. You can be brokenhearted and poor at heart. And those are areas that can be helped by man, but only healed by God. Amen. Being poor in your soul and your spirit are the areas that man's flesh cannot do anything about, because hopelessness is a hole that only the touch of God can fill. Wow. And although He doesn't have to, He often uses us as His vessels to reach one another. For that we need to thank Him always. Amen? Amen. So again, are you on a mission for Christ? So then for those of us who are saved by grace because of God replacing our beauty for ashes, replacing our ashes for beauty, or our beauty for ashes, either way, it no longer becomes a choice about whether or not you want to share, but it becomes a burning desire to show someone else that there is hope. And we, the saved, those that are, should want those that have not experienced His redemption to see Him in us and want what we have. Because I don't know about you, but when I lost hope, I was just an empty shell. Just going through the motions of life. But then Jesus found me and He cleaned me up. Well, all right. He healed my wounds. Yes. And now He in me is like fire shut up in my bones. Amen. Hallelujah and amen. Hallelujah. So again, I ask you, are you on a mission for Christ? Jesus. Now, let's break down this text a little bit. There are 3 things that an effective Christian missionary embodies. Number 1, thinking beyond yourself. In verse 10, Paul speaks about giving seeds for the harvest and bread to eat. Thinking beyond yourself means that your thoughts and plans include those that you are not directly responsible for, and the impact that they will have on others, and wanting it to be a good thing. Number 2, being willing to share. Sharing the things that God has blessed you with, like your time, education, finances, and other resources. The text said that He scattered abroad, He gave to the poor, His righteousness endures forever. Just like when God sent manna from heaven for the children of Israel, and when they did what they were told to do, they never had any lack. Number 3, a true love for God's people, a true love for God and His people. Loving God and His people means loving everyone. I like that. Hallelujah. 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 Glory. Saying everyone is everyone. I know there's a couple of y'all trying to leave behind. Everyone. Yeah. And a whole lot of smiles right now. Everyone. That co-worker on your job that works your last piece of nerve. Thank you, Lord. Truly, because we're all created by him. We can't pick and choose. We can't pick and choose. If we do, and our natural carnal man, our humanness, that's what we do. Because our humanness is not the spiritual part of us. It's our flesh that only wants to be happy. That doesn't want to do anything that's uncomfortable.
All right now.
If we're uncomfortable, oh God. Oh. I'm too hot. I'm too cold. This is uncomfortable. My seat isn't cushy enough. Go to Africa. See how they worship. Stand on the dirt floor 5 to 6 hours praising God with no complaint, no air conditioning. I don't know where we would be, but we would not be in church. Be a bedside Baptist, trying to justify it. I'm involved. Y'all ain't smiling. So, yes, everyone. Because if we do not incorporate everyone into our viewpoint, that does not allow our work to be fulfilling. And because your heart has to be in the right place, you must think beyond your circle. You must think beyond your current reach of people. Speak to someone in the street and just tell them God loves them.
All right.
See somebody in a store counting change, trying to be able to pay for their order.
Yes.
And give them $1.
Yes.
What is $1? Really? Because in this church right now, what I'm looking at, ain't nobody that broke. Who you might think you're broke and it might be hard, but I promise you $1 is not going to change a whole lot in your world. But what it might do is extend God in your life.
Wow.
And that $1 that you give to someone who is hopeless, who can't figure out how anything is going to mean anything, and you give that $1 out of sacrifice,
Amen.
and you watch how God blesses you.
Amen.
And let me say this. A disclaimer for God. Just because you extend money, a financial blessing to someone, don't then turn on the TV and listen to somebody tell you God's going to send you $1,000, a check that you don't know where it came from, and that blah. That happens to some people. But generally speaking, that is not our testimony. In the world, things add up. 2 + 2 is 4 in the world. In the kingdom,
Yes. Come on.
2 + 2 could be whatever God says it is.
Amen. Hallelujah.
You understand what I'm saying? So don't look for, you done gave $1, so you looking for 2 back. God gonna magically make them appear on the street corner somewhere. No, that's not necessarily how it's gonna come to you. It may come to you with someone decides, oh, I see your child needs a bike. Here you go. The bike that your child been asking you for that you can't afford. And you get a blessing that way. So don't look for it to add up the way you add up things in your head. Because our understanding is not his understanding.
Thank you, Lord.
Amen? Amen. All right, make sure y'all with me.
Amen.
All right, back to what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong. I said loving God and his people are everyone. That does not mean you have to like everyone.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you have to hang out with everyone. But being a blessing from a missionary standpoint, especially, is extending love and grace and resources to those in need. Right? So that it does not incorporate people having to be in your inner circle. Just because you are extending what God would do for someone. Amen?
Amen.
Okay. Now, Now, another problem that I'm sure that the Corinthians ran into during the time of this letter, and that we run into today, is something that we often take for granted: extending grace. Unfortunately, grace is often easier to receive than it is to give. I wonder why that is. Because we are selfish. Who knew? Our carnal man is so spoiled.
Yes.
And it is so much easier to receive a free gift, which is grace from God, than it is to give a free gift, which is God's grace, to someone else. Which really baffles me sometimes, even in my own life. I'm mad or don't want to be bothered with somebody, so instead of extending grace to them, which doesn't cost me anything except being uncomfortable. Except that. Yeah. Our flesh. But unfortunately, our selfishness keeps us from being a blessing. So we have to strive to become more mature in our walk with Christ.
Amen.
And in that, we will then be able to extend grace more freely.
Yes.
And then that is the true reflection of God. Amen. So, if giving something that does not require, when we have to give a gift and we've bought it and we've wrapped it and we've bought this beautiful card and we do all these things and we give it to someone and they're like, oh, thank you. Our feelings get hurt, right? Our feelings get hurt when someone is not as pleased with us about the gift they received as we are pleased with ourselves the way that we gave it.
Amen.
So how do you think God feels?
Come on, teach.
How do you think God feels when He extends us new grace and new mercy every single day? And we have the nerve to hoard it like it's something we earn. And then we don't even want to step outside of ourselves to share with someone who may not have even done anything to us. We just don't like the way they look or where we saw them at or whatever it may be. So we hold on to it. God is not pleased. So we must do better. When we know better, we do better. So, now let's imagine if we gave what we received freely. Grace and mercy. If we gave, and we gave, and we gave, how much better do you think we would feel? And I'm talking about as a group, not even individualizing anyone. If we, as a part of the kingdom of God, part of the spiritual body of Christ, if we gave, and we did, and we extended our energy and our finances and the other resources we have, gave someone a ride who you know does not have a ride, gave someone a car you have sitting in your yard that you don't ever plan to drive again because you have a brand new car. Fix it up and give it to someone. I've seen it done. Things that you have in your house that you don't, clothes and other things that you don't even use anymore, that someone could be wearing. Someone could be a extra, I don't know, vacuum, sewing machine. There are all kinds of things that we have in our midst and in our possession and in our family, our mom's homes and dads and wherever we know. There are so many things that we have that if we got together and incorporated all those things, this neighborhood would have no lack.
That's right.
Look, y'all don't believe me? This neighborhood would have no lack. And if this neighborhood had no lack, where do you think the crime would go? Down. Because crime comes from panic. Crime comes from hopelessness. Crime comes from people who don't know what else to do. So, missionaries, God knows who he was dealing with when we all, way before we all got into this world. So, don't let me make you think that he's surprised by the way any of us are, because he's not. We are dirty, filthy rags without God's righteousness. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So, you woke up this morning, you now have a fresh opportunity to do something, to do more than you did yesterday. For someone out there in this world, all right? Even if it's a phone call for somebody who does not speak to people regularly, that is boarded up in their house, to reach out and say, hey, how you doing? Do you know some people are not told I love you daily? Some people do not get hugs regularly.
My Lord, my Lord.
Some people in this room, even, I'm sure. Because it's part of, it becomes part of who we are. When we start to shut down and we get within our humanity, which is our carnal man, and we're in our own little shell, in our own little bubble, then the hope of God diminishes because we can't see past our own blinders. But if you walk up and walk into someone's viewpoint and they can see you and they can hear you, you would be shocked and amazed at how that can change someone's life. There was a woman years ago in New York in our old church. Our church was about 400 or 500 people. There was a woman that came to visit. The ushers greeted her. We had very nice ushers. They greeted her and sat her down, and she sat through the service. And I think one person may have known of her, but no one really knew her for her to come because of someone inviting her. She just happened to come. And she sat through service and what have you and left. And we found out, I guess it was through the news, we found out the following day that she had committed suicide. Walking in our own way, really, with our own blinders on. No one spoke to her, no one prayed with her, no one thought about it. Because she looked the part. She was dressed nice. She smelled nice. She definitely didn't look like she felt. So no one did anything extra. You never know what someone's going through. You never, ever, ever, ever know. Unless they tell you. But most times, hopeless people don't share because they're afraid. So, God knows who he's dealing with. But please note that today, and if God allows you to wake up tomorrow, that is always a fresh opportunity to do something different. All right? To all those that are out there that are doing great missionary work, we thank God for you, and please continue to do what you're doing. Those that are looking to begin missionary work, we thank God for you, and we pray that you will do well in your efforts and in the mission work that God has asked for you to do. Each one of us has a different assignment. You work in a group, but you still have a different assignment. And as God directs you, I pray that that is what you fulfill. So, you know, as I was preparing this message, I was listening to people talk about different, people in my family, just in general, and online, talking about different missionary assignments and the people that have a heart for certain things, but didn't actually have the direction to accomplish those things. Don't ever feel like you can't help someone find direction. It's okay, even if you can't give it to them yourself. Help them find a resource for it. Because everybody has something that God has blessed you with. A gift or gifts. Find somebody. Find someone that can help support you, even if they can't mentor you in it. That can help support you to find your way in whatever that is. I have a heart for prison ministry. I'm not working in prison ministry right now, but I have people that have been put in my vision, and I have phone numbers of people that I can contact to then walk out that particular part of my calling. So feeling like, oh God, I don't know where to start, it's okay. It's okay if you don't know where to start. It's okay and please don't think you're ever too old. As long as you're breathing, you can always do something. Amen. As long as you're breathing, you should always be teachable. You should always be open to learn. Amen. Never too old to learn. So I asked God where I could help, and he just told me to pray. So I'm telling all of you, I will be in prayer for you, for your missionary assignments. I will be in prayer for you, for whatever it is that God has called you to do. But we've got to get to work. There are generations dying from helplessness and hopelessness. Fear will kill you. So, as you become more equipped to do the work that God has called you to do, when you go out and you touch the lives of those that are hurting and broken, you will be enriching the kingdom of God. And for that, I say hallelujah. Now, truth be told, even though we fuss and fight, I love my pastor. And I pray that he is here for a long time to come. Amen. But if God says otherwise, we still must go on to fulfill what God has called us to do. Because that is who should be at the center of our lives. Yes. And if he is at the center of our lives, we will be able to continue to do what we need to do and still love him into whatever the next level is that God has called him to do, or next assignment is. And that goes along with anybody else. I won't be here forever. Jackie won't be here forever. Because if God can't move you, change is part of God. Change is part of life. We have to be willing to adjust. when things change. We ain't gotta like change, but you do better if you can kind of accept it, because it ain't going nowhere. If you don't like it, it still ain't going nowhere. It's gotta happen. Your kids grow up, they move out, hopefully. So Georgie, they move out. You know, that's life. So, again, are you on a mission for Christ? The scripture told us that God will supply all of our needs as well as the needs for us to complete our good deeds. But then it goes on to say that the people that we have helped will glorify God for our obedience to him. And as a result of our prayers for them, they will want us to return because of God's grace seen through us. So I pray that your answer to my question is yes. Because God's grace has blessed this church and each one of us since before any of us were even a thought. And we tend to forget that without it, none of us would be here. So those that are already working, again, I thank you. And I look to you to be our examples. And for those of us trying to get there, let's make the decision to be more than just another church or just another organization. Let us decide to be God's grace givers and go on and out and show his love, his mercy, and extend his grace to those in need as well as each other. God bless you. Amen.
God's grace givers. If you were like me, after listening to the word of the Lord, for those that know God, your toes might have been stepped on. And my advice to you is just say, ouch, God. Say, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. But there may be some here who don't know God for the pardoning of their sins. There may be someone here today who's looking for exactly that grace that his daughter talked about. If that be you today, I ask that you come and give me your hand and give God your heart. As we stand to our feet, this is your invitation to discipleship. I plead with you today to come. God is already the ruler of your life. You just don't know it. So let this be the first day to the rest days of your life. So won't you come? Let him change and rearrange. But in the end, you will know that grace